Hey there, Pixies and Peeps. Thanks for tuning in again to the Purple Pixie, and welcome back to the Fairy Garden, which is what I call my craft room. My goal is to make magical DIYs, but you may think they're mishaps. Either way, I invite you to let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're new here, I highly encourage you to join the Pixie Party by hitting subscribe and ringing my bell so you'll know every time I upload a video. Today I'm proud to announce I am hosting my first collab. It's called Save Our Earth, and the whole point behind it is that you have to craft with trash. That's right, real trash, stuff that you would normally throw away. My co-host for this collab is the wonderful and talented Miss Indiana Jones. If you've never heard of her, I find that highly hard to believe. Not only is she amazing and talented, but she's beautiful and hilarious. She hosts live shows 3 times a week. The link to her channel will be left down below in my description box, and I highly recommend you go check her out. I'll be telling you more about this collab later on in the video because I plan on hosting it every month. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into project number 1. The Soda Box Organizer. This is the area behind my work desk. It's a little cluttered and chaotic, but to me it's organized because I know where everything is. However, it looks quite atrocious. I have stuff stacked all over the place and everything's within an arm's reach, but I still have to flip through everything just to get what I need. Now, being on a tight budget means I can't just go out and buy shelves and organizing boxes and stuff like that, so I'm gonna go through my trash and see what I can use to, organize stuff. Just by picking off the top of the can, I've already got some really great ideas. Boxes are useful for storage, and so are cans and empty containers like milk jugs, and even the packaging that some of these items come in can be useful. Plus, if I can keep it from going into a landfill and help save our planet at the same time, that's even better. So today, since I need to organize the area behind my desk, I'm going to be using a couple of these soda boxes. I need some vertical storage for things like this notebook that you see, and things like bills and correspondence. These boxes make the perfect solution. So I started off by measuring the tallest item that I'll be putting in the boxes. And I go about 1.5 inches taller than that. Then I mark a line underneath the handle of the box. Now, using my ruler, I connect the 2 spots and draw a straight line. And if you've ever seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I have to have a ruler in my stash, because without it, I can't draw a straight line. Come to think of it, I probably could have done a scalloped edge, but without having a template, that probably would have came out all wonky too. So once I have my line drawn, I'm going to open my box so I can easily cut it out. I'm just going to cut out one side for now, and then flip it over, use that as a template to cut out the other side in order to make sure that they match up. Told y'all I use that ruler for every straight line that I have to draw or cut. Because if I didn't, my projects would all come out looking about as wonky as I am. Now, the only problem with these boxes are they're a little flimsy. So in order to give it a little more reinforcement, I am going to take some foam core board and trace out the bottom and the tall side of the box. And there I go with that ruler again. But I'm going to cut out 2 of these with my box cutter because we're making 2 boxes. And now, using the first box as a template, I'm going to trace it onto my second box as soon as I can figure out where it needs to go. It seems my brain was working on empty this night, which happens a little more often than I care to admit. Oh look, seems I figured it out. Now let's see if I can get the lines cut straight. Looks good enough to me. Let's move on to the next step. I gave each box 2 good coats of white acrylic paint because even though we're going to cover it with this white contact paper, I didn't want any of the color of the box to show through. And I skipped that step in the video because I didn't think you wanted to sit there and watch me slosh paint on a couple of boxes. Now, contact paper can be a little tricky, but I usually just go about it as if I'm wrapping a present, and as long as I don't rush through it, I generally don't have a problem. I cut 2 sheets the same size, one for each box, and then using my homemade pen, which is what I use to weed vinyl, I just start at the corner and peel away a little bit of the backing. Now I'm going to place the box onto the contact paper and, like I said, wrap it like a present, peeling away the backing as I go. And by the way, don't throw away that contact paper backing. They make great painting surfaces. When you're done, you can just wad it up and throw it away. And you don't have to worry about cleaning all the paint off of your mat or work surface. Now once you have it covered, you're going to have some issues with the paper sticking to itself. But most contact paper is pretty forgiving and it unsticks from itself really easy. So then you take your scissors and just cut down to the corners, trim off a little excess, and fold the contact paper to the inside of the boxes. But wait, before you fold the long piece in, glue down the foam core board for reinforcement, then place the contact paper over the top of it so it hides any ugly lines. Once you have them both covered, go ahead and glue in your bottom reinforcements. And And then all we have to do is add some handles. I happen to have these handles that I took off of my kitchen cabinets years ago when I redid my kitchen. I'm just going to give them a good coat of black spray paint. That was easy, wasn't it? Sometimes it really does pay off to be a pixie. So let's say you don't have any old cabinet handles laying around. Well, that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can make some handles for your boxes using some more of the cardboard box. Cut about a 1 to 1.5 inch strip of the cardboard. And then, on your box, cut 2 more slits and simply slip the cardboard into the slits, fold it around the back edges, and glue it down. However, if you don't want to use cardboard, you could also use ribbon or jute twine or rope, anything that'll fit that you can use as a handle to pull your boxes out. I'm going to show you a trick how to get your handles to line up evenly on both boxes. I've marked a spot on one box where I want my handles to go, and now I'm going to tape the ruler to the box. See how I slide them together? And now I'll take the handle on the other box and just mark where I need to drill my holes. If you want to get all technical about it, you could use a small level, but I don't think I need to do that. So I'm going to go in and punch some holes where my handles are going to go. Then I'll go in with something larger like this screwdriver and make the holes bigger so that the handles will fit. Once you have your handles firmly fitting in the holes, take some hot glue, or you could even use E6000 or Gorilla Glue to hold it better, and just glue the handles in place. Now, I'm going to go inside and reinforce it with some more hot glue, because I'm going to be putting bills in this organizer, so it may get a little heavy. And on the rare occasion that I do pull it out to look at those bills, I want to make sure that the handles don't pop off, much like my head whenever I look at those bills. Now you could easily be done with this project and leave it as is, but I want to put some dividers into my organizers. So I'm going to take one more Coke box that I've cut down to size, and I've made it shorter so it will fit right in and not be seen. I open the box, cut it down the middle, and then kind of glue it back together. But first I have to make a small score line so I can fold it in order to fit inside the other box. So what about you? Do you have enough storage and organization in your office area at your home? Let me know in the comments down below. I always love to hear from my viewers. My apologies that it's off screen. I've been working on several projects at once with the same camera angle, and it just ain't working out. I'm gonna figure it out one day. Soon, I promise. So just glue your divider into the middle of the box or off to the side, however you want it. And then this project is all done. And now I'm going to tell you all about the Save Our Earth collab. I am so excited to announce that I am going to be hosting my first collab. It's called Save Our Earth. My good, sweet, hilarious, and very crafty friend, Indiana Jones, is co-hosting with me. Here's the rules. You must create at least 2 crafts with trash. Mention the collab, the host, and the co-host in your video. Include Save Our Earth collab in your video title. Put links to mine and the co-host channels, as well as the playlist, in your description box. Then upload your video on Earth Day, which is Thursday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. That's Central Standard Time. And be sure to use the hashtag #SaveOurEarth in all your social media posts. As always, I encourage everyone to reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle in everything you do, not just crafting. Why? Because every day should be Earth Day. And because of that, I'm going to be hosting this playlist every month on the 4th Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And it's open to anybody, so I hope to see you there. My co-host for May is another amazingly talented friend of mine, Theresa from Theresa B DIY. I'll leave all this information and links and playlist links in the description box below. But for now, let's get on to project number 2, which is this beautiful storage box tray. Now, if you've been to Dollar Tree recently, you may have seen this beautiful Moroccan tile placemat. And when I went, they only had one. So I will be going back to get another one in order to finish this project, but for now, one will do. I'll also be using this empty cardboard box, some Mardi Gras beads, K-cup pods, popsicle sticks, and some paint. Oh, and lots of hot glue. I started by lining up my placemat on the top of my box and marking where I needed to cut off the ends. And then, using some of that hot glue that I mentioned, I glued down the flaps to the other flaps on the box in order to make it completely closed. And now for the fun part, I get to try and draw a straight line again. So out comes the ruler. Are you like me? Are you straight line deficient? Do you have to use a ruler every time? Let me know in the comments down below so I don't feel so alone. Once again, I apologize for being out of frame here, but this box was pretty large and the camera angle I was working on just wasn't cutting it. But this box cutter was cutting it. In fact, it cut it all the way around, separating the box to make 2 trays. For this part, I had to use popsicle sticks. I would have ideally liked to use the larger jumbo craft sticks, but I was out of them at the time. So these will make do for now. I cut the ends off because I don't need the rounded edges. I want them to lay flat up against each other. And the easiest way I have found to cut them is using my tin snips. Then I take a small piece of sandpaper, rub the ends over it just to get the rough edges off. Ugh, now it looks like I have a whole lot of painting to do. Maybe if I just throw a little pixie dust on there, I could get this done quicker. Now that's what I'm talking about. It really does pay to be a pixie sometimes. Hey, speaking of which, why don't you go down there and hit that subscribe button and ring my bell? That way you can become a part of the pixie party too. Make sure to hit all when you ring my bell. That way you can join me in the fairy garden every time I upload a video. If you're already one of my little pixies, I want to say welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Your support and friendship means so much to me, you just never know. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So just know that I pray to God every day and thank Him for every one of my blessings, and that includes you. Okay, now that everything is painted, I'm going to go in and glue these popsicle sticks around the rim of the lids of the trays. It's going to make like a lip so that they can sit on top of each other. And just as a personal preference, I'm using my tin snips to miter the edges of the popsicle sticks so that they will butt up against each other at an angle. It's kind of like being in bed with your spouse. You may start out cuddling and spooning, but before it's all over with, by the time you wake up, your backs are facing each other and only your butts are touching at an angle. I sure have to say, being single does have its advantages. I mean, the only ones that I have to fight for the covers are my cats. Who gets all the covers in your house? Let me know in the comments down below. The next step is really simple. You just glue the placemat onto what's going to become the top of the tray. By the way, the colors I used to paint this box and the beads and the popsicle sticks were celery in Waverly chalk paint, and of course white in Waverly chalk paint, and I painted the big beads in Grotto by Folk Art chalk paint. However, I don't think the Grotto matched as well as I thought it would. So when I go back and finish this tray, I think I'm going to paint those white as well. And I had these white Mardi Gras beads that had a very pearlescent look to them. So I had to paint them with the white chalk paint in order to get the shine down. So what do you think? Are you ready for one of my famous purple pixie fails? Well, here it is. I thought I had measured the beads out to fit just right, but apparently I was wrong. But that's no problemo. In fact, it was quite an easy fix. I just snipped the beads off halfway around the tray, and we'll put a handle in between them when we're done. Remember the ends that we had to trim off the placemat in order for it to fit on the box? Well, I'm going to use those for the handles. And in order to ensure that I get a good 1-inch straight cut, I'm going to use my paper trimmer to trim them down. I also don't know what happened to the footage, but I did glue the big large beads onto the popsicle sticks on the bottom of the tray. Now just add a generous amount of hot glue to hold it together and form a circle. Then I just glued them in the gaps between the beads and the top tray was all done. Now, this part is totally optional, and especially since my tray is so large, but I did go ahead and decide to put some feet on it, and I'm using these empty, clean K-cup pods to do that. You may not be able to tell by the lighting, but I did give them a good coat of white chalk paint, again, just to kind of cut down the shininess on the plastic. I will go back and finish this when I get another placemat. But for now, this project is done. Are you ready to see the end result? Great, because here's the final reveal. Now, I did use some foam core board in order to make some shelves that go over my organizers. And eventually I'll even put a drawer in this slot up here. But that's all going to be in a future video, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. even though this tray isn't even finished yet, I still love the way it came out. That Moroccan tile and the pop of color, I just think it's simply gorgeous. I am so in love with my functional storage decor. In fact, I plan on even making more. But what did you think? Were they magic or mishap? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and become a part of the Pixie Party, so we can all have fun every time we get together in the fairy garden. And to do that, you need to ring my bell and hit all on the notifications so you'll know every time I upload a video. And if you'd like to participate in next month's Save Our Earth collab, you can hit me up at any of the links down below. And with all that being said, I'm going to leave you with this. We only get one life, one body, one earth, and one chance to preserve them all. Isn't today a good time to start? Once again, thank you to my co-host this month, Indiana Jones, and I hope all of you have a wonderful and blessed Earth Day. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember that all of me loves all of you.